Hello, my name is Matias Casas, a student of the private University Domingo Savio. On this occasion, I come to talk to you about a very delicate subject that is domestic violence, the other pandemic. Violence is a predictable issue and in many parts of the world, movement dedicated to the fight against violence towards women, children and adolescents warrants that the quarantine, so effective in slowing down, not preventing the fearful expansion of the coronavirus, would have its counterpart in domestic violence by confining violent people to their homes with their victims. According to a report by agency France Press from the Secretary General of the United Nations Organization to the Pope, they have demanded that the situation of women be addressed in the midst of exceptional measures with restriction on movement. The Secretary General stated that with the increase in economic and social pressures and fear, we have seen a shocking global upsurge in domestic violence. Meanwhile, the news agency warned about an increase in the number of requests for help from victims of domestic violence, forced to live with their aggressor, in a region where the average number of femicides is more than 10 a day. The representative of an Argentinian NGO dedicated to the fight against gender violence stated that the quarantine leaves thousands of women in hell. Look it up. With an aggressor they are more afraid of than the coronavirus. In Mexico, the director of the National Institute of Women of Mexico y Mujeres said that since March 24, when the quarantine against the pandemic began, calls for help have increased, especially in the face of increased reporting, which in some mid and upper class areas in the capital Santiago grew by 500%. An Argentinian activist quoted by the AFP news agency recalls that in normal times they work so that the victims denounce their aggressors, but today the urgency is to get them out to the home. Speed can be the difference between living or dying. In Bolivia, according to the report issued by the departmental prosecutor's offices, within the quarantine for March 21 to April 12, 500 quarantine and 5 cases of domestic violence have been reported, with the highest incidence in the department of Santa Cruz with 221 case report, La Paz with 105, Cochabamba 82 cases, Beni 56, Potosí 23, Tarija 20, Pando 11, Chuquisaca 16, and Oruro 11. The National Director of the Specialized Prosecutor Office for Crimes of Sexual and Gender-Based Violence informed that she is informing month by month how gender and child violence is increasing during the quarantine. for all the population, the custody and protection of the loving coexistence within our families is the most important thing. That is why it was seen the need in coordination of the police, the issue telephone number for all those people who are suffering violence within their home and can report them to the public prosecutor's office. This was the first report from Pilar Diaz, National Director of the Public Prosecutor's Office, specialized in the crimes of sexual and gender-based violence. The cases were increased. In the last report, they mentioned that on August 2nd of this year, the General Attorney's Office registered 8,133 cases of crimes against women, children, and adolescents, while we fight against a disease like coronavirus by staying at home. Many women, children, and adolescents struggle to survive the violence received in their home where they should feel safe. The government has the duty to guarantee the Bolivian population a life free from violence, and the population has the duty to report any act of violence experienced or witnessed. Dear friends, if you are suffering for any kind of violence in your home or are close to home where there is violence, do not shut up and denounce it. That way you will be given another chance to that person who is being subject. Thank you very much for your attention. Goodbye.